welcome back to the Synergy Sanctum. My name is Justin. Thank you so much for stopping by. Here at the Synergy Sanctum, we specialize in all things related to Magic the Gathering, with a specific focus on deck building. So I aim to show you very quick deck text that'll show you all of the cards in the deck and how they work together to ultimately achieve the goals of that deck. If you're not already, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We really appreciate that. And we also have a sister channel now, so head on over to Commander Coliseum and check out their content as well. And for today's deck tech, we are running for you a Fblthp the Lost cEDH combo build. Fblthp the Lost is a very interesting commander to build around because when he enters the battlefield, you get to draw a card, but if it entered from your library or was cast from your library, you get to draw 2 cards instead. And then the kind of broken thing here, or seemingly broken thing, is when he becomes the target of a spell, you shuffle him directly into its owner's library, and then he's gone. And we do actually want to do that, surprisingly. There are cards that then get you to stack the deck in a way to where you get to basically put all of your entire library stacked in a way to have your win cons and everything ready to go. And then Fblthp is cast out of the library and you get to draw the top 2 cards. So he is the only creature we are running in this deck. There's a lot of cEDH primers out there of how to make this work, and it is mono blue, so it does kind of make it easier to accomplish. TCG market value of this Fblthp deck is $556 to $691. Land count is 32, with 22 of those being islands and 10 of those being non-basics. So we're in mono blue. We're going to be running a ton of interaction to delay the game, but we do have a ton of win cons in the deck as well that either work with this Fblthp trigger or just work in general. So the main win con is to use Proteus Staff in order to then put Fblthp on the bottom of your library. And Proteus Staff says that you get to reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature. But because Fblthp is the only creature in the deck, you're going to basically go all the way to the bottom. And then you get to stack your library in any order after that. Very, very broken here. And now what are we going to do? What are we stacking it with? So it kind of depends on our board state and the goals that we have in the moment. So Future Sight, one with the Multiverse, and Mystic Forge all combo off with Sensei's Divining Top because we are running a Helm of the Awakening as well. So Helm of the Awakening is going to do a mana discount, which then lets you play Sensei's infinitely and draw. So with any of the 3 on the top here, you're going to get to draw your entire deck. Isochron Scepter with Dramatic Reversal. We are running a ton of rocks, so this goes infinite as well with infinite mana. But with things like Codex Shredder out, then you could also mill everybody out. And then we have infinite mana as well with Rings of Bright Hearth and Basalt Monolith. So you're going to tap the Basalt Monolith. You're going to have an additional 2 to then copy the ability, and that's going to net you additional mana. And then that goes infinite after that first one. So other win cons in the deck, I think one of my favorite blue cards ever is Dream Halls. So Dream Halls says instead of paying the casting cost for a spell of any color, its caster may choose to discard a card that shares a color with it, and then you can pay. You could basically play that spell for free. So we can chuck a Counterspell and play Omniscience. We can chuck a Snap and play Enter the Infinite, or any of these extra turn cards that we're running as well. And then Jace, Wielder of Mysteries, is our Lab Maniac replacement. So it's not a creature, it's a Planeswalker. If it's on the field and we draw out, then we win. And then Reigns of Power, in case everything goes to crap, we can just take what our opponents are doing and attack them with their own stuff. So a ton of tutors in the deck to make this competitive and consistent. We're running all of the expected instant and sorcery ones as well as some other ones because our combos are artifact specific. So Tezzeret the Seeker and Fabricate work really well in this deck. The rest of these are allowing you to either tutor for an instant or sorcery card or to tutor for any card like long-term plans to then be able to go ahead and put the cards that you want on the top. Here are all of the counterspells we are running. We are running all of the decent, solid ones that are either cheap or free. So an Offer You Can't Refuse, Mana Drain, Arcane Denial, Force of Will, and Fierce Guardianship are free. Force of Negation, if it's not your turn, you can exile a card rather than paying it. Pact of Negation is 0, but you got to pay the 5 at your next upkeep or you lose. Negate Narset's Reversal. Narset's Reversal, copying the spell that you're countering. Flusterstorm, you can keep casting because it has that Storm ability, and then Swan Song and Counterspell as well. Here's additional control that's in the deck. Because we are only running one creature, we're not really worried about things like Overburden, for example, because when a player puts a creature spell into play, they got to return a land. So for token decks, this is really, really breaking them. Back to basics is some stacks for non-basic lands. Frozen Ether freezes everything. Ward of Bones prevents spells from being cast if your opponents outpace you, which they probably will because we're only running Fblthp. Narset only allows for a single draw. Propaganda protects us from getting attacked. Capsize, Chain of Vapor are all bouncing stuff back. And then Pongify and Snap and Rapid Hybridization to destroy things. And then we've got a ton of draw on this deck as well. So we're running Rhystic Study and Mystic Remora to benefit when our opponents are doing things. We're running the expected cantrips with Preordained, Ponder, and Brainstorm. Gush is really kind of a showstopper in this deck because you can draw 2 cards off of returning 2 islands. So this is one in a lot of builds for Fblthp that people are running because you're ultimately drawing this and then getting 2 additional draws if you do that Fblthp Proteus Staff combo. Impulse is letting us look at the top 4 and dig through Time, and Blue Sun Zenith are getting us a little bit of a bigger draw. And then we've got a ton of mana in the deck, like we said earlier. So Soul Ring and Sapphire Medallion, Mox Tantalite. There's the Helm of Awakening to make everything cost 1 less, specifically for the Senseis. High Tide to double up our blues. Gilded Lotus, Arcane Signet, and Decanter of Endless Water with Thought Vessel are all more rocks because we are relying on that Dramatic Reversal combo. And then Buseiju, who shelters all, is preventing our stuff from getting countered as long as we use the mana from this land to cast it. And with that, our show has come to an end. Thank you so much for watching our video, and if you enjoyed that video, feel free to share it out with any friends who might find value in it as well. Thank you so much for stopping by. We hope to see you again soon. Have a good one.